Pierre Poilievre hates dental care. Pierre Poilievre hates the daycares. Pierre Poilievre hates immigrants. Pierre Poilievre doesn't want you to have dental care. All right. This is what we're talking about. Bakes on Things Daily, the constant liberal onslaught. You've seen it in the comments. You've seen it out in the world. You've got this is their go-to, man. This is their go-to. So we're going to debunk this today. And listen, I understand why liberals might believe some of this stuff. The liberal campaign is quite good at making you believe Pierre Poilievre hates the entire world. But this is a great one that you're going to be able to share with your entire network because we're going to debunk the whole bloody thing and we're doing it right now on Bakes on Things Daily. Let's go. All right, Canadians, it's time we clear the air on something that keeps getting thrown around like it's the ultimate liberal mic drop. And libs, it really isn't. You've all heard it. Pierre Poilievre voted no on a $10 a day daycare program. He voted no on dental care. He voted no on the immigrants. He's against them. He's against all the immigrants. He hates the working class. Yes, this is the typical and long time liberal argument that you will see all over your comments, and we need to say enough. That argument is not only dishonest, it's actually dangerous. And today, I'm going to explain exactly why voting no is actually how democracy is supposed to work and why that vote has nothing to do with hating working class Canadians or newcomers or families who need support from the programs. So you can't make this stuff up, folks. Let's start with number one, what a no vote actually means. So let's start with a basic civics lesson because clearly a lot of people miss this in school. I'm really surprised people don't know this, but we might as well get into it. When an opposition party votes no on a bill, no matter the party, they are not saying we hate people who benefit from this. They are actually saying we don't agree with how this is being done. They are holding the government accountable on cost, efficiency, structure, and long term impact of the program. Can this be sustained for a long time? In fact, the entire point of an opposition party in parliament is to challenge the government, to hold them accountable. That's literally how democracy works. If it didn't include that, it would be a dictatorship. If opposition parties just rubber stamped every single thing the government proposed to them, we wouldn't be in a democracy. It's a dictatorship. That's how dictatorships work. So basically, that's what you're asking for, libs. When you say he hates everybody and voted no on things, historical proof of opposition voting will also scream this out to you. Let me give you some history. So, pardon me, when the Harper government proposed anti-terrorism bill C-51, who do you think voted against it? The liberals. Were the conservatives out there saying they're pro-terrorism? Because nobody would believe that. They weren't pro-terrorism. They believed the bill violated civil liberties and needed to be challenged, and that was part of their job. In 2012, the NDP and the Liberals voted against the Harper budget. Did they hate the Canadian economy? No, they didn't. They didn't like the structure and the spending priorities in that case. That's democracy in action, kids. That's really it. And in the US, Ronald Reagan's famous tax cuts from the 1980s were opposed by Democrats. Did Democrats hate lower taxes? No, of course not. They disagreed with how it would affect the social services. Okay? So opposition is how you keep governments honest. It's how any party does it, no matter who is the opposition. Poilievre's no votes need to be explained here then, and let's get into the truth behind them. So if we break these things down specifically to the no votes that you've been talking about in my comments and I've seen on other people's posts comments, $10 a day daycare. Poilievre voted no because the Liberal plan was a one size fits all, Ottawa controlled, bureaucratic mess. Now, it left out rural families, shift workers, and anyone who wanted more flexible childcare, like taking your kid to a home daycare and getting support there. He has publicly said that he supports making childcare more affordable for all families, but not with a bloated, inefficient, government run system. He wants choice. He wants flexibility and programs that actually work for working class families, not a giant photo op. Now, dental care program was a little bit different, but again, he voted no, not because he's against poor people's teeth, by the way, or anybody who needs it, but because it was rushed. It was very poorly structured. It lacked provincial collaboration at the time and ignored people who already had provincial coverage. It's not a no to dental care for those who need it. It's a no to bad policy. When it comes to mass immigration levels, Poilievre voted against unchecked, unsustainable mass immigration because he believes in responsible immigration, not to cancel it altogether. Right now, housing, healthcare, and infrastructure cannot keep up with the rate of immigration. We can't go to 100 million immigrants. Voting no to liberal immigration levels is not anti immigrant, it's pro planning, it's pro integration, and it's pro Canada. Now, let's not forget that the Liberals have played this game too. So let's expose some hypocrisy here. Here's what the Liberals don't want you to know. Did you know that in 2015, Justin Trudeau's Liberals voted against Harper's universal child care benefit? Why? Because in that case, the Liberals disagreed with how it was delivered. Did anyone scream Justin Trudeau hates children? No, nobody did. So why are the Liberals doing this now? Well, they're really trying to win an election on no platform. But in that case, they were doing their job as the opposition. Yet when Pierre Poilievre does his job as the opposition, he does the same. Suddenly he's some kind of horrible monster. It's a super dishonest double standard in this campaign, and it needs to stop. Okay, let's look at Poilievre's alternative vision, for example. And his vision is a Canada that works. So what the media and Liberal supporters conveniently seem to be ignoring right now is that Poilievre has his own plan to support families and workers, not to leave them out in the cold. But you always turn him off, don't you? Because you don't like him. But his is based on choice, affordability, and sustainability. So let's get into it. Hope you don't turn me off. Tax cuts for lower income Canadians is one of them. Removing the GST on new affordable housing for anyone who wants to buy a new house. Scrapping the carbon tax in its entirety, not reducing it to zero, to lower energy costs for working families. Fast tracking skilled immigration while ensuring infrastructure keeps pace with that immigration. Deregulating to allow more small business growth. Lifting people up and out of poverty permanently, not trapping them in government programs they can no longer get out of. Listen, Pierre is not against the working class. He wants to empower them instead of making them dependent on the government. So this is all very key here because this is going to blow up your argument, unfortunately. So next time you hear someone on the Liberal side lazily repeat the talking point, Poilievre voted no because he hates poor people, children, or immigrants. It's time for you, as Canadians who understand the truth about that, to set them straight. Tell them, no, it's not hate. No is accountability. No is democracy. And no is sometimes the only way to stop bad policy before it hurts the very people it is supposed to help. See, blind loyalty to government programs is not compassion, it's complacency. And that's what you're seeing from the Liberals right now. They don't even remember the last decade, it seems like. But real compassion is making sure government actually works for the people it claims to serve. And if it's not, change is necessary. That's what Pierre Poilievre is fighting for here, folks. And it's what every Canadian should want. Not necessarily to attack the liberals overall, but because we need change. The last decade is complacency now. We can't have 4 more years of this. Make sure you like, comment, and share this video everywhere that you need to set a liberal straight, and not straight in a mean way. But Canadians deserve to know the truth about how democracy works. If they don't understand that, they need to have this clear, and why we need leaders who aren't afraid to say no. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.